Hello everyone, thank you very much for clicking and for watching the video. Welcome to the free game collection. So this week, I think I'm probably going to start by saying I reckon this might be the last CARBOOT based episode of 2024. I went to the CARBOOT, everything you're about to see is from the CARBOOT. I don't have too much at all and it was a real struggle this week. I recorded on the GoPro, but the footage is useless because it was dark as hell when I got there. I was only there for about an hour and by the time I left it was still dark. There was hardly anyone selling. There was a few less buyers to be honest, but still plenty of us. So yeah, I think the CARBOOTs are still on. So I'm still going to go to them for now anyway, well, I can be asked to, until it gets to the point where it's not worth going because you just know that they're going to stop or it's just too dark and too wet and you can tell when you go, you can tell when they're pretty much over. So this might be the last CARBOOT based episode. There might be one after it, who knows, maybe two, who knows, but yeah, slowed right down that. It was a struggle. But I've still managed to get some stuff. There's not too much here. Probably won't take us too long this week, but it's important that you see the weeks where we don't get as much, especially when you get further along in the year. You know, these things happen, but it's important to acknowledge. And I've hardly got any games, but there is one little bundle thing in here, which if I can get free this week, it would have been worth getting up and going there on a Sunday morning. So let's crack on. So first thing, like I say, I've had to get a few things to help us this week. So a couple of things less game related. First thing, £3. It's one of these Amazon Fire Sticks. If you see these out and about, they're worth picking up. I paid £3 for these. We picked them up for £1 before, £2. People don't ask too much for them. CEX give you good cash and good trading on them. They pretty much always work. Try and make sure they've got a remote with them when you pick them up. CEX want a remote when you trade them in. It can be quite difficult to actually get hold of a loose remote and they cost a little bit online still. But Amazon Fire Sticks, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. They'll help you along the way. This one was I thought I was going to do really well with this. It's a Banggood Pro Gaming headset. Still in the box. I've taken it out to test it. It works absolutely fine. I paid £1 for this. I thought that's got to be worth a couple of quid, isn't it? Fantastic. Literally put it down on the tarpaulin and I whipped it away. Said how much? He said £1. I was like, straight away, there you go. Yeah, you get a little bit for it. CEX sell it for just over a tenner, I think it is. We'll get a couple of quid back for it, but I thought I'd get a lot more for a lovely box headset like this. But like I say, Banggood, it's not what I've ever heard before. It's not Turtle Beach or anything like that. Complete other side of the spectrum, but still a headset. Paid £1 for this. These are some Sony headset. It doesn't have a name, it just MDR-X B950 if you're interested in that. These are worth far, far more. These work perfectly, absolutely perfectly. I'm tempted to keep hold of these myself, but I realised I wouldn't really wear them out anywhere. I only really wear them when I'm out and about on my bike, and obviously I need to be able to hear what's going on around me when I'm out on my bike. But these are fantastic. Absolutely, we'll get good return for these. Can't quite figure out how much, because there's all sorts of different models under that number with different conditions and everything, but either way, even if they take it as the worst, we'll still be all right. £1 is an absolute bargain. So they're going to help us out on the way. The rest of it's pretty much gaming related now. So I was surprised at this. I paid £2 for this. It's a 3-button Mega Drive controller. Now I thought, well, Mega Drives are expensive. The games cost an arm and a leg. I haven't picked up a controller for so long, and I've never looked at CEX and buying one. So I thought £2, I'll get a good couple of quid back. No, I'm actually going to make £1.50 cash, so a loss, or I get about £2 back on voucher at the minute. So that was a bit of a dud. Yeah, I didn't know they wanted so little for a Mega Drive controller. It's surprising, but hey ho, we'll take it. I don't need another one. I've got I think I've got 4 Mega Drive controllers, and there's a boxed one above my head somewhere. There's no way I need any more than that, ever. So that can go either way. So probably a bit of a loss on that. Right, there's only actually, this is what I mean, there's only actually 2 more things, but they're both bits of a bundle deal. So I'll show you this one first. So I paid £15 for this. Guy had a box with all sorts of bits and bobs. So I just rummaged through, put them together. I can't remember what, I think he wanted £4 each for everything in there, and I got these for 15 quid off him in the end. First thing, just to show you really quickly, he had, how many? He had 4 of these brand new thumb grips for a PS3 or a PS4. 4 of them he gave me in this. He only wanted like 3 for £1 or something. So I got those I've thrown in as well. They got to come in handy. Always good to pick up thumbsticks. Personal use, they'll be personal use, but chuck those over there. So yeah, that came with them. The rest are controllers. So 15 quid for these. There's 5 of them. First ones are, I've got a black Wii remote with Wii Motion inside. I've got a blue Wii remote with Wii Motion inside. And I've got a pink Wii remote with Wii Motion inside. So you can get a good return on the ones with the Wii Motion on the inside with them. Yeah, I'm tempted, and I'm going to move them on because I've already got way too many Wii remotes, but I am tempted maybe keep these and trade in some of the non-Wii Motion built-in ones, because these ones go for a bit more, but then again, these do go for a bit more, so I'll get a bit more back for them. So yeah, the pink one's got its own back. This one doesn't have a back, but I've got a plain white one. CEX don't care about the back colours, by the way. And this one's got a back, but it's got one of the rechargeable ones, so again, I'm hoping they've got some spare backs in the back for them to give me. But those three, pretty good. Pretty good. So yeah, really glad to pick those up. Really like the blue one for some reason. I think it's really nice. But yeah, so they were part of it. He also had an Xbox OG1 controller. Xbox OG1 controller, that was nonsense. He had one OG Xbox controller. Works absolutely fine. Gave this one a good go. I'm short on Xbox One controllers, I realised. I've only got one that works, and I intend on spending a bit of that voucher on some OG Xbox games, so having an extra controller, which we'll move on to shortly, was quite high on my to-do list. But yeah, it works absolutely fine. Third party. It hasn't got the breakaway end as well, which is quite nice, because usually they're missing the breakaway cable to go in. But yeah, that was in there as well. And lastly, a red PS2 controller. I picked one of these up, I think it was last year, weren't this year? Last year I picked up a red one. Again, they go for a little bit, the PS2 controllers, and the coloured ones go for a bit more as well. Works absolutely fine. Yeah, absolutely brilliant to have seen that sitting in there. I'm going to move this one on because I've already got a red one. If it had been a different colour, I might have been tempted to keep it. Again, I am a bit short on PS2 controllers, but you get a good return for this one, so I think I'll be trading that in. The reason I want to trade them in is because what I really want is to be able to keep what I'm about to show you. So I picked this up. I paid £18 for this, and I and ahed, and I actually went back to the guy. I had a look at it, genuinely thought I'm not going to buy it, but then I went back to him about 10 minutes later. It was still there, and I thought, you know what, that's good, because I'm going to pick it up. £18 for an OG Xbox. Now it has got a bit of a damage on the top. It's got like some chunks taken out of it. Pick this up. It also came with, the only games you're going to see from me today, Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30, fair enough, and Turok Evolution. Not massively wanting to keep hold of these games, but it's slightly tempted by Turok, but that one's certainly not, so I don't know if I'll keep those or not. I'm very, very particular about what Xbox OG games I collect. But it also came with 2 more controllers. So like I say, I know I've been looking at OG Xbox controllers to keep. I think I'm going to have to keep hold of these because I do need them. This one actually has a memory card with it as well, which is quite nice. This one's got the cable. Both work again fine, absolutely fine. This one's got the cable built in. This one, the Mad Catz one, it is missing the end, but I can get another one of those. That won't be a problem. I have tested it with an end off another controller. So 2 controllers which I need, plus the Xbox One from the deal I just shown you. That takes care of my limited controller situation. And I've said before, I was tempted, I debated buying it because I've mentioned just how difficult it is to get these that work, and that's why I was so timid on doing it, but the controllers was really pushing me. Happy to say, it actually works. It 100% works absolutely fine. I'm actually tempted. Remember last year we picked up the crystal one? I've still got the broken crystal one in the corner. I wonder if this will fit in the crystal shell. That'd be interesting. But I want to keep hold of this because, like I say, I've only got 1 working OG Xbox, a couple more controllers now, and I've got a nice collection of OG Xbox games down there. 1 or 2 I still need to play, and I intend on buying a few more. So only having the 1 OG Xbox, and they're hard to come by, that actually work, I really wanted this to work, and I really wanted it. So the plan for me this week, as you can tell, sorry, not too much at all, a good little haul, two deals sort of got us a lot of it back, some decent on the headphones, but I really just want to be able to, if I can leave this week with this Xbox and these controllers for free, I'll be absolutely buzzing off that, because that's something I've had in the back of my mind I need to sort out at some point in time. So that's the plan. I'm going to do that thing. I'm going to go to CEX, and I'll be back in a minute. And I'm back from CEX, so let's make everything free. First, how much did everything you just see cost us? Cost us bang on 40 quid. Let's take £40 away from there. How did we get it free? So Amazon Fire Stick, 13 quid. The red PS2 controller, £14. The pink Wii Remote, £14. The Mega Drive Pad, £1.30. So you get hardly anything for that. And the headset was £3. So in total, CEX gave us £45.30. So stick £45.30 up there. Fantastic. We got it free plus £5.30. there's no voucher. I didn't get any voucher this week whatsoever, but that's not really a terrible thing, which I'll touch on in a moment. But before I get to that, couple things just to touch on before I show you what I'm adding to the collection. So the black Wii Remote and the blue Wii Remote, they said no to these just because I don't have the backs for them. They said they need the matching coloured backs, which they don't usually, but to be fair, if I was to buy these, I'd want the matching coloured backs as well. So nothing wrong with them, I just don't have a spare black or blue back for these, so I'll put them to the side, and at some point in time I'll definitely come across a black one, hopefully we come across a blue one, and I can trade those in later down the line, so they can just sit in the corner. And then the other thing was Brothers in Arms and Churek, yeah, they wanted to give me like 10p each or something for them, so we'll just stick them to the side. I don't really want them in my collection, to be honest with you, so I'll stick them to the side. I might get rid of them, give them to someone, give them charity shop, I don't know, but spare cases, I don't know, they're just to the side there. So what are we keeping? So the first thing I'm just going to touch on is these couple of PS3 and PS4 thumbsticks. They're handy to have, nothing special, but they'll stop the wear on my controllers, which means they'll last longer, which in the end could turn out to be more voucher later down the line, surprisingly. So keeping hold of those. And this is something I don't really usually do. I've kept hold of this. So this is a really, really good set of headphones. I actually wore them as I was going to CEX, and I realised how good they were, and I told myself, well, I'll tell you what, if I don't get my money back for all this, if I don't, I'll trade them in, but if I can, I'll keep hold of them, and I could. So, bit weird for me, but this Sony headset, absolutely spot. They're mint condition as well. They're absolutely brilliant. I can only assume that probably got rid of them, but you know, without knowing exactly how good they were, especially for £1. But yeah, there we go. So I'm keeping hold of them. They're for me, something I don't usually do, but saves me buying. I'm one of these people that buys all the cheap headphones for like B&Ms all the time, you know, like the 5-pad ones. I buy about 4 or 5 of them throughout the year. I don't know why I do it. So now that should take care of that little problem for me. So other stuff I'm keeping. So I say not having any voucher this week isn't the end of the world. That's because I had some of it earmarked to get OG Xbox One controllers, because I've only got the one, and like I say, I want to spend some more money, some of that voucher, on some decent OG Xbox games. So I've been conscious of it, but I've now kept hold of these three. This one's got a memory card as well. The Mad Catz one actually goes for a couple quid as well, so that was quite nice. But to have 3 of them, because I was expecting to spend, I wanted definitely 1, maybe 2 more controllers, but the fact that I've got 4 now is fantastic. I did have to stick a bit of electrical tape on this one just because I noticed some of the wire was popping out to let me know. So this one, right now, it's got the electrical tape. This will be the one I use day to day, because in my mind, because this one's slightly more battered than these, this one has a shorter shelf life. This will go the first out of all of them. So this will become the one I use. My wife finds that weird. She always thinks I should be, you know, using the absolute best that I've got all the time. But for me, I know I'm going to end up using this all the time now to just sort of get the last bit of life out of it. Are you the same, or is that a little bit weird? In the comments, just let me know, because I don't know if that is a weird thing or if that's a logical thing or not. But anyway, 3 OG Xbox controllers. So fantastic. No voucher, but essentially we've saved a good couple quid of voucher by finding this out and about, which is absolute. That's spot on, really. That's perfect. And then, of course, what I've kept is the OG Xbox. A little bit of chipping on the top. I'm tempted to try stick this one in the silver shell, but I'm not quite sure because they don't all fit into each other absolutely perfectly, and I don't know whether I want to risk damaging this one, because it works absolutely fine. Like I say, OG Xboxes, you pick them up quite often and the things don't work. But yeah, like I say, want to pick up a couple decent games. Just been conscious, there's nothing wrong with my existing Xbox, but I'm just conscious if that was to die on me suddenly, I wouldn't be able to play these games I intend on spending some good voucher on. So the fact that I've got this now with the controllers is absolutely spot on. These aren't cheap. These still aren't cheap. So absolutely spot on. So yeah, coming towards the end of the year, who knows when the last CARBOOT will be? You never know what's around the corner about this point in time. This could be the last time you see me, might not, but who knows? Who knows? But for this week, I'm really happy with that. I think that's a damn good result for this time of year. So thank you very, very, very much for joining me. Take care of yourselves.